Men of France, we must defend our capital to the last man. The battle for Paris has begun. Rally the occupants of this city. Give them a rifle or a musket or whatever and send them into battle. What's up, guys, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW 3 battle for you today. And today, my gosh, we have the Battle of Paris here. The coalition forces have managed to get to the capital of France and are here at Napoleon's seat of power. And my gosh, are they ready to rip it down? We have both, we have all three major coalition forces on the continent. We have France, I guess France on the defense, but that's not what I was meaning to say. We have the three coalition forces on the attack here. We have Russia, Prussia, and Austria here, all ready to party. France, of course, is here defending his capital. We have a whole host of variety of units here, from elite units like the old guard to just I've seen random units somewhere just called veterans. I'll see if I can find them because it's a cool late period unit. Just men that are just being put together. They're not even a proper unit, they're just veterans. See if I can find them. Zappers. Oh, we've got obviously all the light infantry over here. We've got chasseurs of the Pied, we've got the flankers, chasseurs as well. These are all guardsmen being set up here. So yeah, clearly we have Mortier's guard on this side here. It looks like taking on the Russians. I don't think it was Victor that had the I don't know, or it might be Mason. Mason here, I think, had has the young guard. You'll see it's just veterans. There you go, veterans. He's been probably fought in campaigns in the 1804, 1805, and now they're being recruited once again to come and fight for their country. And my gosh, they're probably wondering what the hell has happened, what's gone wrong. I mean, I'm also thinking what the heck's going on with these formations that Victor's got going on. This is a bit sparse, a bit chaotic. But yes, obviously the main objective in this battle is going to be actually taking all of the the districts of Paris. I believe that each coalition army has an objective to take. So hopefully I put up a map of how the players sort of divided the map, and they basically have sort of different districts to attack areas that they can't attack from. So I think they can't come from the back of Paris. They have to make a frontal assault, and they have to get all these districts and obviously take this town hall at the back is the main final objective, I guess. With one of the grenadiers of the old guard was in there anyway. Charles Joseph Cristini was in there, but he's coming out now. He's coming out and they're putting someone else in there, I think. And we've got Mortier as well sitting back there. Here we go. The French got their trilliers out here. They're already having a few shots at the Russians. I don't know why I want to keep calling the Russians French today, but there you go. But yes, if you're a fan of all things NTW3 and Total War, then feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and comment to show your support. It really does help out the channel. And as you can see, Victor is now sort of retreating. I guess, I don't know what this formation he's got with his line infantry just set up here. A bit scattered, a bit chaotic. Got the 12-pounder setting up here as well. On a good little ridge, you can see all those Russians in front of them. Imagine that's what they're aiming at. Or maybe not. I'm not sure, actually. I feel like they're just missing the target. That's what they're aiming for. The empty space around them. We have got the young guard as well over here. They're already facing off against the Austrians, who are making a relentless push right now towards them. Do like the young guard uniforms. One of the snazziest looking uniforms. That is for sure. There you go. Young guard getting in. And there's plenty more young guard to come forward. It seems like Mason back here has plenty of young guard as options. I don't know where Ney is at this point. Ney also is a young guard corps. But I guess Mason is the one that's in charge today of the young guard. He's got artillery as well over here. These 6-pounders. They're not guard artillery, but they are still going to be pretty damn nasty, I'm sure. French artillery, some of the most revered artillery in Europe, but they are relimbering up by the looks of it. And we actually have a Chasseur Cheval here, a young guard, a Chasseur Cheval. And there you go, already a cavalry assault there. Trilliers, I did send those cavalry packing. We've got infantry now coming forward. They might have been able to beat that infantry, those Trilliers, because they were at red morale for a moment. Yeah, the Trilliers going into combat. They're not going to win that fight. Oh my gosh! Infantry flying as the artillery hits this melee fight here. Both sides might lose. Yep, that's a win really for the French. I mean, losing the Trilliers is a pain, but they should return. And the infantry here and cavalry losses for 1 Trillier. That's a big win for the French. Austria here already taking a fair few losses coming forward, and they've got to march uphill. I mean, look from their perspective. Like, this is what they've got to assault. Like, go up that hill and then waiting from the top is veterans that have fought their nation before many, many years ago. Yeah, it looks like Mason's actually just, like, still getting into position. Finally, also looks like Victor's going to sort of form up a sort of a line here. Mason is like, yeah, really making a huge line of young guard here. I don't know if he needs to take this whole area, really. Like, give Victor some room. And the final corps is MacDonald, who is waiting on the Prussians to arrive. MacDonald is got a lot of cav as well, provisional chasseurs, hussars, dragoons, got more dragoons there. I have seen a provisional cuirassier as well, waiting around somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Oh, provisional carabinier as well. Okay, so Victor, yeah, bringing up this heavy cav. Good to see that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen a cuirassier, or maybe it was just the carabinier that I was looking at. No, there it is. It's only a small unit, 39, but yep. Again, Trilliers here getting taken out by cavalry. These Cossacks here trying to cause havoc. Don't know why they're so far out. Just don't let them get isolated like this. We've got some Laguerre as well. It looks like maybe get some shots off on them. But here we go. Cossacks going in. They'll harass and kill these. Well, I thought they were going to go in and kill these Trilliers, but they're really not. I guess they're worried at the stakes, which makes sense. Yeah, just get the Trilliers behind the stakes. Makes it much harder to get these for them to be attacked. But there you go. Austria and Russia's lines have sort of united. France is sort of blobbing up here as well. He's got young guard on top of each other. He needs to avoid that at all costs, because this is maybe a prime target now for artillery. I think he's trying to make space for another unit to come forward. I don't know. Yeah, the Voltigeurs, the young guard here, they're doing an okay job. I mean, I imagine their quality is not that great. They're pretty good at shooting most of the time, but I don't know. I mean, 12th E Voltigeurs and 10th E Voltigeurs. I feel like if you're 10th or 12th, you're probably pretty low down the pecking order, but they are doing some good damage. I don't know. I feel like 12th E, you're probably like the scraping the barrel of the young guard, really. They're probably like conscripts. There's a lot of young guard often become maybe just like conscripts in into battle. The artillery here though is pounding. It looks like that's the general there. I don't know if they killed him, but they actually hit him pretty hard. I don't know if they were aiming for him or what, but there is a cav unit here. There is more cav back here. So yeah, that general might want to just retreat just so it's not being shot at so much. As always, Austria has decent cav. Its infantry not so much desired, but the cav is, you know, pretty decent. Main targets really for the French. We have the Prussians over here as well. They're just arriving. There is another sort of, I swear there's another Austrian army I've seen. But this is just base Austria, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, back here it is. It's Austrian Wettenberg. So whether you see a lot more Austrians, a lot more Wettenberg, I don't know. It could just be like, yeah, the allied German states that have joined the coalition that left the French, so we might see Bavarians, Wettenberg, maybe just more Austrians. But they're on their way as well. They look like they're going to be the reserve. Prussia now appearing out of the woodwork. Looks like they've got a lot of Landwehr here going for the Landwehr spam tactic. Haven't seen that in a long, long time. They could tie down a lot of the French here. Their Landwehr, just hold the line, just, yeah, just sheer firepower. And try and work their way up. I mean, they are going to be like massively accurate, but there's like hundreds of men per unit. Well, certainly in these ones, a few hundred. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, if you're wanting to get involved in any NTW3 battles, then feel free to join my Discord. The link is down below in the description. It's the best place to join to get involved in any sort of NTW3 battles. We do quite a few on the channel. We'll certainly stream it a lot as well. And if you just want to join the Discord because you're a fan of the channel, that is also more than welcome. Even if you don't want to play any sort of Total War battles, so just like, screw it, I want to come and join and chat with Pope and fellow subs, you're also welcome. as Austria just moves forward here. He's going up this hill. Yeah, Austria's actually like retreating some troops. He's actually taken a lot of casualties. I mean, look at the bodies down there. That's a lot of dead Austrians already. I mean, the Young Guard as well, granted, are taking a lot of casualties. That is actually a lot of Young Guard that are dead. These units are getting a bit small. And they look like they're just retreating ever so slightly further up the hill. Cossacks here went for an assault. I don't know what they're going for. Looks like just looks like Laguerre didn't really achieve anything. Victor still up to his old tricks of sort of like spreading out his units really weirdly here. Don't know what they're doing exactly. Got his cuirassiers waiting patiently. Again, we'll probably wait until the right moment to use them. We've got Old Guard over here, so defending the flank. Don't know whether they're going to come forward to help against the Russians. They might do, or they might be left just to defend the city. And just sort of be using the house-to-house sort of fighting. That will come, I'm sure. Oh, I'm excited for this one, that's for sure. Young Guard again. Putting some pretty horrendous volleys down into these guys. I mean, they are starting to weaken some of the Austrians, but they're also weakening themselves. These Young Guard, like I said, they seem like they're not the greatest when it comes to sort of like shooting and such like. The morale is certainly being affected. We've got Marines now coming forward here. These guys are pretty good at melee, if I remember correctly. So I'm excited to see how they do. I can hear a cavalry charge taking place. Oh yeah, it's over here. Here we go. Dragoons going in. We've got, looks like some light infantry as well down here being caught up. But yeah, the Prussian lance is going in. And the Dragoons just about won that fight there. The Schomburg Dragoons. More cavalry way out on the flank here. We have got plenty of, looks like Chasseurs Cheval and Dragoons also being able to defend against that. And we've got artillery also moving that way as well. A little artillery piece. But no, I don't think it is I think it's running away. Oh, okay. These are just the carriages. I thought they were like bringing up the artillery to shoot that cavalry. But no, the artillery is still very much over here. It's safe, but it's no longer horse. It's just going to sit here. And yeah, we've got plenty of Garde Nationale. Again, shows like the desperate state of the French army at this point. Lots of Garde Nationale. A lot of these light infantry as well. Look like they're pretty just sort of like irregular conscripts. These Garde Nationale can form square though. That's something, I guess. Here we go. Here is the other Austrian army. Is it Austrian or is it going to be more sort of German stuff? Looks pretty German to me. They don't look Austrian at all. These look like they could be, I don't know, like Westphalian or Edinburgh light infantry. What is back here? Yeah, again, don't look Austrian to me. I don't know what they are, actually. I have no clue. You know what? I'm actually stumped on what uniforms they are. They could be, I'm guessing, just some random German state. But they're not Austrian, that's for sure. Russians are steadily plugging away here, you know, still firing. Got a lot of Laguerre here, moving forward. They're probably dueling quite nicely, actually, with the Tirailleurs. And, like, other light infantry that's up here. We've got a lot of the, actually, real light infantry. We're seeing Guard now, Old Guard coming to this side. Lots of, well, Young Guard as well, shifting. The Old Guard, the Chasseurs Guard here, need to possibly just slow into that gap and they can start firing, getting involved in this line fight. Whether the French could send forward their artillery and try and like put it a bit more here, try and centralize it, use against the infantry, I don't know. We've got Old Guard as well pushing up here, so we're seeing Victor with his cuirassiers as well supporting the Old Guard, and it looks like they're going to go for these Russians, maybe go for an all-out assault, I don't know. And certainly being aggressive, there isn't, it seems like, much cav over here either. Yeah, these Chasseurs of the Guard, they can get pretty close, they're Old Guard, so they will be pretty good at melee. They're also pretty good at shooting. Yeah, flanker Chasseurs here, they're, I imagine, pretty decent light infantry, but they just need to start firing. Start doing some damage right now. Yeah, these are Russian Guard here that they're dueling with. They're also going to be pretty good shooters. Probably form square. Probably got pretty good morale. So actually, maybe they don't want to charge them. They probably do want to shoot these guys. We're going to see a Legere unit from the side here. These aren't guard. They are just basic infantry. Looks like more guard there coming forward. Oh, and the cavalry has got in. Cuirassiers have failed. Chasseurs are going to form square. They were lucky that they could do that because I thought they looked like they charged in, to be honest. Again, looks like the Russians here form square. And now can the Fusilier Chasseurs go in for a charge? We will see. They might be able to break these Russians. If they break one, they'll break a lot more. Oh yeah, Russians are starting to break pretty badly here. France might have found himself a little flank here that he can do. And who would have thought it? In defense of Paris, it's actually France being the aggressor. I mean, they can only be aggressive so far, but yeah, they are doing their best. And mopping up these guys nicely. And that's a lot of Russian guard being defeated. All of them are guard, granted. Some of them are line infantry, but there were some guard units amongst them. I think this one is as well. This looks like a guard unit. Guard Jaeger, maybe. Back here, what's in reserve? Looks like I get more like Guard Jaeger or something like that, or just like maybe just that's definitely just guard line infantry. They're all coming forward to try and stabilize this flank. France might think about retreating. He's you know, done his bit, pushed them off this sort of side of the slope. I mean, right now France is looking at trying to flank here with some line infantry, trying to get some side shots. Not a bad idea. I mean, you can see this. Look at the map. It's just like a solid lines. Like the red is France, the blue is the coalition. Solid lines here. Like each side matching themselves. It's all like width and quality and strength here. Like, I'd say overall, I'd say that the French have got probably the better elites. But they also just have some absolute trash amongst their armies. But I'd say like the standard for the coalition is a bit more steady, a bit more like. They're all pretty good. There's no like trash infantry here. Well, maybe minus the Landwehr, but I'd say the Landwehr honestly are probably better than some of these units amongst the French. With a young guard Chasseur Cheval, it looks like it's going to make a charge. Otherwise, it's getting itself very close to its front line here for no reason. I would not have that so close. It's getting shot at, I imagine, by various things. As you can see, the French are retreating back up the slope here. The provisional cuirassiers is still alive, but pretty depleted. A 39-man unit. Yeah, they're not really going to do a lot. Might scare off that cavalry there, though. And there's artillery back here. That's for the Russians. It's just being kept way back here. This is a howitzer. Why is this over here? And why? There better be Russians over here. Otherwise, this is just very much unprotected in the French. Well, they could send the cuirassiers over there, I guess, or just like even a light cav. If they had like a Chasseur Cheval, they could go over there, take that out. Job's a good one. Looks like this spare Austrian army, which is these are Austrians. Don't know what those other ones there are. But yeah, these spare Austrians are now filling in the gaps the Russians have sort of vacated because the Russian troops either broken or they just didn't have the big enough line. Yeah, it's going to test the micro of this Austrian player, that's for sure. They're just going to get called Austria. I know these guys are. I don't know what they are. They almost look French, that's the thing. They could be French emigres, but I don't think there's any of those left. I think they've all been killed or, well, given up fighting. So I think they must be like some Germans or some sort. These are like licensed, so they're doing a great job. Look at the trolleys here. Marvelous, yeah, and sending these French packing. Look at that. McDonald's gonna have to get some fresh troops up there. And there's a little light infantry here. Could they go? I mean, they could take it out if they wanted to. It's getting very close, so these infantry here might be able to just take it out. Yeah, Prussia, it seems, just being a little less aggressive. Maybe you can tell that his quality troops isn't quite as good. Probably does have the weakest of the armies. A lot of these just seem like they're reserve musketeers or Landwehr. Not really anything too exciting though. These are guard. You can tell again by the lampshade sort of shako they got going on. So yeah, they are. He's got a couple of good infantry units, but yeah, most of his army seems like it's made up of cannon fodder. Really, you could say. I mean, there's no better way to describe Landwehr than cannon fodder. Yeah, Austria slowly assaulting this hill, but not really getting anywhere too too far yet. Seems like when they get too close to this French line, they just get absolutely battered by volleys. Like I said, I don't know why this artillery's here, not like in the center, like where these velites of Turin are. It's a cool unit, to be fair. Again, also looking pretty damn sharp. Look at the eagle on there. Oh, marvelous, it really is. Looks like actually Victor is shifting over more troops to the center because the left's kind of just being dealt with. The Russians aren't here anymore. Well, they are, but they're just not in the strength they used to be after being defeated once. They need to defend this gun, though. Seems like, yeah, a lot of shuffling going along here by the French. They're actually giving up ground. I don't know if this is just the plan or whether there's some communication issue or what. Chasseurs of the Guard here as well going to get taken out, the Young Guard. The forming square of the French Young Guard, that might be okay. The cavalry looks like it's going to get out of there fairly okay. Fading them, very nice. And the guns also survived as well. Yeah, none of the districts have been taken by the Allies yet. French still hold the entire city. But there's certainly been a lot of casualties inflicted on the French. I mean, the Young Guard is looking pretty battered. I mean, most of the casualties out here are them. But, I mean, like I said, the Russians looking pretty also tired, looking pretty battered. Haven't got much left, it seems. I don't know. There might be more than this, but this flank over here certainly doesn't seem strong enough to make an assault at the moment. Austria and Prussia looking still very healthy. Prussia, though, taking very steady. And actually looks like he's shifting around. He looks like he's going to maybe make it a really concentrated assault on this flank here. Maybe try and turn MacDonald's flank. I think he's trying to avoid those guns, those 5-pounders, oh no, sorry, the 6-pounders here. They're doing a lot of damage. Again, sort of the same here. I mean, you've got the Austrians moving forward. The guns, though, right in front of them, they might want to try and avoid them, and there's a lot of healthy Young Guard around them. Like, Mason may have taken a lot of casualties, but it seems like he's just spammed out these Young Guard. He's still got plenty to go in. And 9th Trillier is a bit more of a more of an elite unit, and it's actually quite a large unit, 122 men left. A lot of the smaller units, a lot of the other units we've seen are quite small, like 71, yeah. 92 actually not too bad. Artillery here, yeah, you need to start firing, otherwise you could get just overwhelmed by musket fire. They're going to get out of there. Yeah, morale is not looking good. They are getting out of there. 10 out of 20 men left. One volley might break these guys. Still more like Young Guard over here. Like, they actually are like just everywhere. They are slowly creeping. Look at this. There's basically the Austrians are now into the city on the very fringes. Veterans here. They're going to go for a charge. Oh, they were, but they got broken almost instantly. The Guard National there of Mason as well. Yeah, there you go. The Austrians have just about edged themselves into the city. They've just about got in. They could maybe cause a bit of havoc here. If they can get some cavalry, they could go straight through here and then get inside and maybe do a lot of damage to these Young Guards. Even though they're Guard, they can't form square, a lot of them, it seems. I mean, it seems Jean here can, but that's about it. What's here? What have we got here? Artillery, 12-pounder, now retreating. Send that to the center. That's where that's needed. That provisional carabinier as well. I wonder whether that should be sort of more in the center. It looks like that's where sort of the main thrust is coming. Yeah, more Russians are coming up here. So the Russians weren't quite out yet. And in fact, they've got some Pavlovsk grenadiers. They've still got some of their finest men to go in. I do love these guys with their funky looking hats. Very identifiable. Yeah, they are going in. Yeah, Russia is making a big thrust here along with Austria, and they're going to try and make a push onto sort of Mason and his, looks like his Marines and his Young Guard here. Here a charge. Oh, and it is in fact some of the Russians going in. Just Russian musketeers. They're going to go straight through the house. Yeah, look at that. Go through this tiny little choke point here. What is that? What is that for a sneaky little attack? And they're actually attacking some of the 72nd line here. And here we go, yeah, more infantry going in. Looks like some Guard National going to get overwhelmed here. And they are just militia, really, so they aren't really going to be able to hold too long, I imagine. And here we go, the actual Allied thrust now getting into the city. Russia is leading the way with this infantry unit here. They're going to get a side charge into those line infantry. Yeah, the Vexin. This is actually a pretty good unit. And yeah, they charge them. They're going to charge the Marines. I don't think they'll beat the Marines. Pretty sure they're decent in melee. We'll see though. They're actually trying to retreat. They're trying to pull back this Marine unit out of melee. I don't know if that's really a smart idea. The French are in this building as well. What have they got in there? Sappers? Thing? Yeah, sappers in there. Setting in the sappers now to sort of like countercharge the Austrians here. And the Russians. Certainly the Austrian unit did not like that. The sappers here. Big, scary, angry men with their aprons. Rip in peace to that guy. They are getting shot on the side though with the sappers. I think that's by... Maybe it's just well, actually it might be French troops shooting them. I don't see any coalition forces here firing. It looks like we've got line infantry starting to break here. And here we go, cavalry charge coming for those guns. We've got fusilier chasseurs, they're going to set up. I don't think they'll form square in time. The cuirassiers might just save the guns though. And the gun crew is abandoning the gun currently. Running for their life. So yeah, their gun carriages are gone as well. That gun is not leaving here. And the cuirassiers have done just about enough actually. There you go. Austria being sent back down that hill. Russia has still got a few of those tiny units here. Not a lot to sort of like make a proper threat onto the French lines. The cuirassiers actually are continuing, maybe a little too far, and they break. They'll be tired. They'll have been depleted. They are nearly going to rout that Russian unit there, but fair enough. But yeah, I don't think they'll manage it. And yeah, the real sort of concentrated push here in the center. Looks like we also had, the chasseurs de cheval go forward here with the young guard. They failed. Looks like that's going just fine. Looks like over here, Prussia's starting to sort of have a few breakages. So France might be doing just fine there, it seems. Again, another bayonet charge going in. Looks like we have some of the Victor's infantry here going in. Against Austrian grenadiers. Not a great matchup, to be honest. I think the Grenadiers should win that fight. Yeah, we've got side charges here. Well, charges to the Austrians, but I think the Austrians have got a rear charge here, so they've actually managed to surround the French here. They have routed those Austrian Grenadiers, funnily enough. But they're going into Hungarian Grenadiers now. And the French, these two units, they look like they're going to get surrounded and killed, but the French are going to countercharge. The countercharge! We've got Fusilier Grenadiers going in. We've got the Old Guard Grenadiers going in. They managed to rout a lot of these Austrians. And yeah, here we go. We've also got the Provisional Carabineers coming forward. Now is the chance. They see a lot of routing troops. They can cause a chain rout potentially here on the coalition forces if they can keep this up. Old Guard are going in here as well, trying to rout these men. What is in here? I think it's some SARS. Yeah, the Old Guard Grenadiers unfazed. And yeah, as you can see, the cavalry here for the Austrians retreating. Looks like they tried to maybe slow down the Provisional Carabineers. Failed. And now I guess they could carry on down the hill, and they are certainly heavy cavies. I do love the Carabineers. One of my favorite looking units, that's for sure. Yeah, they're chasing the Russians down. I mean, they're tired. They need to be careful they don't get too tired that they can't get back up that hill. And they're routing... Well, nearly routing a couple of these units here, these Jaeger. The Austrians are going for a counter charge, looks like. whether they should have really taken out this Carabinier. Yep, they are changing their targets, and they're going for the Carabiniers by the looks of it. They've held the route of quite a few of these units, but they're tired still. And the Austrian cav routes, I think, at the sheer sight. And yeah, there you go. Look at that. Routed a lot of those units there. The center has sort of been depleted. But the Russians are now coming forward again here with the the Austrian and United German forces here. Young Guard are being broken. Pavlov's Grenadiers breaking through. MacDonald's being dragged in as well. He's got to deal with, looks like cuirassier of some sort here. Looks like a Russian cuirassier maybe. They've routed the dragoons. We've got cavalry now coming in, more provisional dragoons trying to scare off. Looks like Prussian cavalry. Yeah, it's all going off over here. It really is. Yeah, as you can see, cavalry, yeah, I mean, these dragoons, I don't think they're going to hold too long. They are only provisional, yep, and they're fighting off against cuirassiers and infantry. MacDonald is starting to certainly lose his left flank, I guess you could say it is. He needs to maybe think about retreating. Get out of here, get back to the town. France has certainly shattered in a few areas, but they've also shattered the coalition on this right-hand side here, and certainly as well in the center, I'd say. They're looking pretty weak, but on the left, looking... Well, they've been looking okay. The SARS came forward, their provisional ones, yeah, they've been broken pretty easy. I think they might have already broken once. A lot of pressure's being put onto MacDonald here. You got the, looks like the Guard National breaking to some cavalry here. A lot of this infantry here cannot form square. MacDonald here is under threat himself. He needs to be careful. One of his line infantry units put in a brave volley. And also another line infantry tries to use itself as a blocker. But they are going to try and get to MacDonald here. That is their aim. I think it's a pretty good Prussian unit. It looks like a guard or something like that. Again, with the funky plumes on their hats. It's always a good sign. Can they rout MacDonald? They might be able to. They have routed MacDonald. They could rout all this infantry here. This is not a good side for MacDonald here. His Guard National and his really cheap line infantry here really under threat. If they break one or two, it could break many, many more. Actually, the Prussians, yeah, they lost their cav. France might have been saved there, just about, but they have lost MacDonald. I don't know whether he'll return. 11 out of 16 possible. He might not. MacDonald's given up on the French cause, it seems. We've got Old Guard moving in this direction. Old Guard, Grenadiers, and Marines, and various other things. It's looking pretty imposing as that column coming forward. The French have still got some very healthy and very effective columns in some areas here. We've got Fusiliers, Chasseurs, and we've got various other sort of Chasseurs as well coming forward. So looks like, yeah, this side here, like I said, the French sort of dealt with the coalition. They can either come onto the center or they need to come over to this other side over here and try and deal with this. Prussian guards coming in, trying to deal with the MacDonald's armies here. Prussia is now coming forward. He's going to try an all-out assault. I think these guys are charging. Yeah, Landwehr going for bayonet charges. They sense blood is in the air. MacDonald himself has broken, so the morale of these troops will be low, even low enough for Landwehr to make a charge. There you go. I mean, we're seeing a lot of routing French here. Yeah, the Prussians are doing a nice job mopping up MacDonald's corps here, just before the Victor and the Guard also arrive. Well, actually, the Guard's already here. It's so speedy. This is the Grognards, the most elite of the Old Guard. But they're not looking good. Red morale, they're getting shot in the side here. It's not looking good. They need a charge from these sappers to tie down these infantry units here to allow the Grognards. But there you go, they've broken. The Guard is broken. All is lost. Yeah, 60 men left. That is very high for the Guard to break. The sap's breaking as well. The Guard is breaking. Paris may be lost. MacDonald has rallied though. Thank the Lord. We might be able to stabilize the side now. France, well, I mean, MacDonald's corps gone, but at least he's back, I guess. Got cavalry coming in here again. These young guard have formed square. They'll stop the cavalry, though it doesn't look like they could really form square. It's a very poorly formed square, that's for sure. They still haven't formed it now. What is this formation you're doing, guys? This is no square. Cavalry. I was saying cavalry going in, but it's not. It's actually infantry. The Pavlos grenadiers might be finally broken. There's not many of them left, which is why I think they might break. Yeah, red morale, not looking great. The Marines here as well, so doing their bit. They're holding on. There you go, Pavlos grenadiers breaking the infantry here for the Prussians. Trying to do their best. They need to try and flank around. Try and get the flanks while they have the numbers. But yeah, France is starting to stabilize the side here. As Victor's Corps just comes over to save the day. Marines going in against Guard Prussians. We've got more Grognards going in, another healthy unit going in. Again, getting shot on the side though here. Pretty brutal. Young Guard going in. Again, the Grognards break. The old Guard is failing today. Young Guard getting in there, routing that unit, very nice. Really, the French need to send more troops over here to like help deal with the Russians and the Austrians. I mean, the Russians and the Austrians should really be putting the pressure on here, pushing forward, like while they can. They could really do a lot of damage to the French here. Victor's men are starting to rout though as well here. They keep sending them in. It's turning into an absolute melee fest down here. Absolute melee fest. And here we go, another great charge coming in here. It looks like from Hussars, trying to slow down the French. But of all things to charge into is the old Guard though. So they form square, they seem like they're okay. The flankers can't though. They were lucky. Again, cavalry breaks. I mean, the Russian cuirassier is still alive, but not that Austrian unit there. Building's been captured. Oh, they just put units back here. What was it? Just a line infantry unit. Just to try and slow it down. I guess hold it as well in case the Prussians made a push for it. I guess you could say that they kind of hold the outer outskirts to the coalition. The French really have not given any ground. I thought maybe they'd have a bit more of a layered defense, but no, they are like put everything on the front lines and they've held there. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. They are giving ground now, though. I think they can see that like a L shape starting to be formed here by the coalition. So if they charge this side, they're getting shot on the side and it's breaking a lot of their troops. And you can see like the long train of Victor's men retreating. I mean, the Guard, yeah, Mortier and Maison are really all that's left. I think Victor's got a couple of troops scattered about, but yeah, he's not got the healthiest of armies left. It's hard to tell what the coalition have left. I don't think they have much. The Prussians have certainly expended a lot of troops in that melee fight. So have the Russians across the entire front. They've been everywhere. And yeah, the two Austrian armies also been fairly battered in line and melee fights. So it's hard to say what exactly is left. Heavy cav wise, the Russians certainly have the only heavy cav left. Maybe some of the only cav left. I don't think France has a single horse. Well, actually no, it has these provisional Carabineers actually still alive. So I guess both sides do have a heavy cav. That's something. But yeah, one of the lights coming over here, going to try and help deal with these troops that have been caught out. Sappers and Victor's Marines here. Some of the young Guard as well. Like just trying to defend around this this town building here. The Grenadiers here, 21 of them in their saps, and there's a tough old building they're going to have to try and take there. These guys are firing in column. I don't know if they're meant to be. It's starting to get a little chaotic here for the French. Go young Guard going in with melee charge. That's how wise an idea this is. I think they'll break on impact. Or maybe not. Well, they probably still will break. Again, more Young Guard going in. The Trilliers. The first E-Trilliers as well. They were the best of the lot. And here we got Mason charging in. I don't know if this is just like the player desyncing or if he just gave up. He just charged in infantry and then his general into the Prussian lines. Well, it's an honourable way to go out, Mason, but probably not the best way to go out. Yeah, there you go. That's him dead, I think. So I think he might desynced the Young Guard player. Bit of a shame to see, because he did a fairly good job holding that front line for a long time. I can hear more charging somewhere, but I don't know where it is or what it is. Oh, it's these saps over here. Bravely charging into the Austrians. They'll break on impact. Or the old guard coming up, the chasseurs of the guard. These big angry men all over here. Yeah, like all the chasseurs are here. And look at that withering volley he's put into the back of these Austrians. They're going to turn around. Fire when ready, men! We must defeat the tyrant that is Napoleon. We must take Paris at all costs. I actually prefer the chasseurs. They're losing slightly in this fight. And it shows with morale, actually. It's starting to die. Guard Nashville here with Mason. Breaks pretty quickly. Yeah, there you go. The chasseurs, they're retreating. Not liking that angle they're at. Good to see some of these Frenchies returning for Victor. He's going to need those men in the front lines. Prussia is now starting to make some indents into this defense. Now it's getting a bit messy when it comes to where to fight. Infantry is just kind of going everywhere and anywhere. It's a bit of going through the forest of buildings that is Paris. What have the Russians got left? I saw a lot of lights left for them, but that is it. Oh, General dead! No, who's died? MacDonald is dead. After narrowly escaping death earlier, he's now been killed by the collapse of a building here. There's this Young Guard unit as well, so I think died was either in it or outside it. Yeah, there's a big gathering of troops. I guess this wasn't a main objective, this one. I guess so they just razed this building to the ground. That's unfortunate. And an artillery piece broken back here. Well, I don't know whether that was broken as well by the collapse of that building. Dragoons over here have rallied. As I was saying earlier, no one had cavalry left. Seems like everyone has a bit of cav just still dotted about the Austrians here. Using that like little hussar to do some chaos. Yep, fighting over here for the town. What we've got in here, line infantry. Yeah, just line infantry really. So I don't know whether they'll hold that. MacDonald has just died recently, so morale for the French won't be great. Got those guard Prussians going in again, trying to rout some of these Frenchies. Ooh. MacDonald has held for now. For now, his men hold on. But like I said, morale is not looking great. Or has not been looking great, though. They are routing a few of these Prussian units outside as well. These are the guards here. They might get them. And we're going to see a countercharge here. Victor's now, yeah, he's not stopping. They're trying to still be aggressive with the French. I mean, I don't blame them. Melee charging land there, you got a good chance of victory, but no. These Laguerre have seen better days. They are wavering though. They should break those guys. Victor's bringing over the 4th impetus here. They might go for a side charge. I think exactly what they're doing. Yep, there you go. That should grab that Lambert nice and easily. And the street fighting is still with the Frenchies. It seems like they're still doing just fine. I mean, the street fighting probably actually benefits them. The Victor's got some healthy units over here. And these like look a bit more professional, you know. They have the typical sort of French uniform going on. Good to see. Yeah, he's bringing over some decent troops, it seems, to this side here. Help fight this this melee fight out against the Prussians, which is where the real sort of fighting seems to be taking place at the moment. Cav here for the Austrians coming around, and artillery, or horse artillery sitting up here. I mean, if the French could form square, this would be great, but they can't. And now in goes the Cav. Well, actually, once formable, form square, which is something, I guess. Because otherwise, this infantry should make a push into the guns here. And I think they see a general they want to go for. They've got Victor's back there. You need to be careful, Victor. They could come for you. Again, another melee fight starting to take place over on this side here. Looks like some of the guard getting involved. Fusilier Grenadiers being defeated there. Looks like by Russian guard. The Carabineers being sent packing. Fighting outside this building here. The Marines here still managing to hold on. Might defeat that Austrian unit as well. They need support from the Grenadiers. Yep, there you go. Now in come the Russians and the side charge. Like Jaeger here, they'll try and do their best. They've been routed almost instantly. Here we go, Russian Cuirassiers coming forward as well. And they're hacking and slashing, and they're going to rout those Marines. The Fusilier Chasseurs here, though, the old guard could have formed square, didn't. Now they're getting punished. The flankers are starting to break as well, and it's not looking good for France on this left flank as the guards start to collapse. Who's their general? Mortier? Yeah, he needs to find some cover, find some friendlies, because he's looking very isolated right now. Yeah, Fusilier Chasseurs here, they look like they're going to go into melee. They all, well, there you go, they routed the Austrians very easily there. Nicely done. They still have a bit of a bite to these guardsmen. I don't know where the Chasseurs of the guard have gone. Oh, they've all broken. That's where they've gone. In for a charge go those Fusilier Chasseurs. And even though they're technically like light infantry, they do so much damage in melee. They're so good. This middle guard, they don't mess around. Here comes the Cuirassiers. They might make a difference here. They might start around those guys. Men are running. Oh, it's just like, oh, these are some of the other Chasseurs. Okay. Looks like the Fusilier Chasseurs will be following their old guard colleagues by running for their lives soon. They keep like going down a red morale then rallying, but I think this might be it. There you go. Routed, dead. It looks like it's just really Victor in this corner over, or Victor and MacDonald in this corner over here that are holding on. The guard has been fully routed on that side there. And there you go. That's Mortier being run down by the Hussars there, and he will die very, very shortly. And I think if there were any guards left, now they are now without a general, morale will be low. It's already looking pretty low for the French here. That's General dead, I think. Yeah, that's Victor dead. Not Victor, Mortier dead. I think Victor's still alive just. I don't know how he survived, to be honest. He's definitely had opportunities where he could have been charged. Howitzers still going off. They never took those howitzers out with the Russians. Never took them out. Strange formations really being formed up here by the Victor. Oh, the building's coming down, and that's going to collapse into more French. Be careful of that. They could rout their troops here. The collapsing buildings. That might have been some of their homes. You know, they just watched their father's house be destroyed or something. Yeah, looks like the Prussians are just going to absolutely pepper these French to death. And here we go. We've got cavalry now coming in. I think they are going for the Victor. Hacking and slashing at him. And yeah, there you go. Victor's dead. And that's the last resistance, I imagine, for the French. Shattered. There's another general dead. I imagine these troops might just break at the sheer sight of the Austrians outside. But Paris is going to fall, it seems. Napoleon will be ousted, sent into exile. What a way to go. Looks like McDonald's going to be the last one to hold on here. This building. Yeah, red morale. And there you go. That is him, I think, finished. Can't see anything. Oh, what do they have back here? They still have those grenadiers of Charles Joseph Cristini here. Still 80 out of 80. They should have brought those forward, I feel like. But the Russians are very close. What have they got to send in? Is that a guard unit? Looks like it's a guard unit, so they might send it in. We'll see. We're just going to fast forward. We'll see what happens. I mean, they haven't got much time left. There is literally like 2 minutes left on the timer. So they're going to need to start getting a shuffle on if they want to route that unit. I mean, they might come out, or they might stay in the building. If they stay in the building, they probably got a better chance of routing a couple of units here. But, I mean, there is a couple of these troops outside. So, I mean, if the Cav can get into melee against these guys, that might affect the morale of them. And, I mean, you've got to remember, Mortier is also dead. Here we go. Yep, Cav going in for a charge. Didn't get a great charge off there, did Austria. I guess that's why they're maybe retrying. Russia's going in from the front over here. Even though they're the second, like, battalion of the guard, they're still goddamn monsters. Really, they should still send in. Oh, that cavalry broke, actually. They should send in the other one, though. And just try and rout these French that are still outside. They are winning slightly. But yeah, looks like the French might just about hold on to the town hall. But I'd still say this is a coalition victory. Given a little bit more time, they would go on and win this battle. I guess they couldn't reduce this town hall to nothing, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they should really got this cav over here to just try and... I don't know if they can. Just route a couple of guys to the side. It might just help with, like, the morale difference. Yeah, the Russians here are going to get routed. There's no infantry as close that I can see anyway. I mean, that could be fog of war. I mean, the French are pretty much out, and we're looking from the French perspective. So yeah, it's hard to see exactly what the French, what the coalition have left. It's all going on in there. We'll look from the other side. It looks like the Russians, yep, coming out the building now. They are dead. They are being broken. There you go. It looks like, I mean, what was that? Literally 0 time left. The French are still going to hold the town hall. But I feel like Paris has really fallen. Napoleon is not going to be able to hold on to the city. He will be pushed out, I imagine. But yes, the battle for Paris is over. And I'm going to give it to a coalition victory, I'd say. It says a draw, but I would say that's really a coalition victory. But yeah, well done to everyone that took part. Hopefully I put up the end results for you to have a look at. This was sent in by Johnny Le Buffoon, as always, the creator of many of these historical scenarios. So thank you very much, as always, Johnny, and all the guys that took part. I know you guys like did a couple of attempts at this one. It must have taken a lot of time, and they got a good battle out of it in the end, certainly. That's for sure. Apparently there's a couple of French drops, but I don't think it made too much difference in the end. I think the French were slowly but surely being worn down by the coalition, who in the end just managed to break through. So yeah, well done to them. We'll have a quick look at the unit stats. So yeah, from Johnny's perspective, so it's the guard. I mean, it looks like one of the second grenadiers here got 121 kills, more than the first battalion of the grenadiers. Fusilier grenadiers 115, 109 with another Fusilier chasseur. And then we have Claude Etienne Michel here, 107 kills, another Fusilier chasseur. Chasseurs of the guard getting 101, but there are the rest of the kills if you're interested in those. But there you go, guys. That is the battle for Paris over and done with, and the French capital has fallen. Until next time, guys, leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment show support, and I'll see you in the next one.